bans most abortions once a fetal heartbeat is detected, which usually happens around 6 weeks into a pregnancy. The judge wrote that the law prevents a woman's free choice. President Trump is bypassing Congress and invoking emergency authority to sell arms to Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Republican Congressman from Arkansas, Tom Cotton, is a fan of this move.
Yeah, I mean, these arms sales have been held up for far too long, not just to Saudi Arabia, but to the United Arab Emirates, one of our closest partners in the Persian Gulf region. Those two countries in particular are in a genuine shooting war with Iran. Just last week, more missiles were launched from Yemen by a rebel group supported and funded and trained by Iran.
And you're listening to USA Radio News.
Here's a great deal on MyPillow. When you go to MyPillow.com, click on the 2-pack special, type in promo code USA, you'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows for $69.98. Now, that's only $34.99 a pillow. You will not get that price anywhere at retail. It's the lowest price ever offered on radio or TV. And like all MyPillow products, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 2-pack special, use my promo code USA.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities, or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities. And the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Available on Amazon.
Don't look for another summit between President Trump and North Korea's leader anytime soon. USA Radio Network's Chris Barnes has the details from Washington.
North Korea now says nuclear negotiations with the United States will never resume unless the Trump administration changes its demand for unilateral disarmament. A foreign ministry spokesman accusing the U.S. of deliberately causing the collapse of February's nuclear summit between President Trump and leader Kim Jong-un by making impossible demands. U.S. officials had said the meeting broke down because of North Korea's demands for sanctions relief in exchange for gradual disarmament. Kim has now given the U.S. until the end of the year to come up with mutually acceptable terms. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
More than 3 billion Facebook accounts have been deleted over the past 6 months. That's according to the company's latest enforcement report. The report also reveals that there were 7 million posts removed for hate speech. This is USA Radio News.
With a recession ending, if you've been putting off building your business, now is the time to act. General Steel will meet or beat any price on a pre-engineered steel building of the same size and specifications. Act now before steel prices go up. So call us today for free information.
Call 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290, 800-965-1290.
Tulsa Mayor G.T. Bynum held a press conference on Friday to provide an update on the flooding along the Arkansas River. The mayor thanked the workers who built a new levee behind a levee that had already begun leaking.
Late yesterday, we started to see leakage in a levee in West Tulsa near the Garden City neighborhood. And I want to give a deep sense of gratitude and thanks to the team at Crossland Construction who came out and spent all night building a new levee behind the old one that was leaking.
Folks in Tulsa are still on edge, though, as storms continue with more rain and flooding possible. A Colorado rancher accused of killing his fiancée last Thanksgiving is pleading not guilty. District Attorney Dan May says he hasn't decided whether the office will pursue the death penalty against Patrick Frazee for the murder of Kelsey Barrett.
By Colorado law, once the defendant pleads not guilty, we have 9 weeks to decide whether we'll seek the death penalty or not. And so that's something by Colorado law that will be decided over the next 9 weeks.
May believes the entire trial will last for 3 weeks, starting on October 28th.
That's the entire length of the trial, from picking the jury on to closing arguments. You can get delays. We noticed, for instance, there's one holiday in there. Certainly it's in October, November. We all know what that means in Colorado, but we hope that that'll be sufficient amount of time.
For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
It's 8:05. She's crude, often misconstrued, and is actually a dude. Welcome to Life's a Drag. Say hi to New Hampshire's 2018 Entertainer of the Year. Your hostess with the mostest, Monique Too Soon.
Hi, you are listening to Life's a Drag. My name is Monique Too Soon, and tonight I am joined by 3 special guests. I have my co-host, Miss Patricia Mullaney here.
Hurley. And hello.
I'm gonna mess that up for a while.
It's been a while.
Patricia Hurley is here in the house tonight. I also have the girl with the bangs that I want grown, Miss Sam Lamberti. She is also the queen of the House of Corn.
True.
And I am also joined by drag superstar fan, Dan Cronin, who is the manager of Club 96.
Hello.
Oh,
wow.
That was an aggressive hi.
that was
Be
my
afraid.
hello radio voice.
I was waiting for you to hit us with a Club 96.
That's what I was waiting for, too.
That's Facebook.
Yeah, tonight's episode is going to be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of love. If you're on Facebook, show us some love and share. If you are listening live on the radio, toot your horn.
Meep, meep.
No one on Main Street's listening. I thought I'd hear someone out there, but no one's listening out here. They're too busy trying to get dinner. So, interesting week this week.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
so-
Tell me everything.
I found out I was pregnant,
Mhm.
and then I found out it was a false alarm.
Oh, food baby?
Yeah, food baby. I still look pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because
You
I've
still
been-
have a food baby.
I'm a late night eater lately.
Really?
I love to watch TV and play video games until like 2 a.m.
I don't understand how you do that when you have a child.
Oh,
I distinctly remember telling you wouldn't do it anymore once you had children. I'm like, you can't do this. You can't live like this.
and I'm proving you wrong, girl.
are.
I'm always tired and in a nasty mood, but hey.
Oh, yeah. That
No, that has
explains
nothing
a
to do
lot.
with it. I actually
That
can live
makes a
off of
lot
no
of sense.
sleep.
I don't know if that's actually true.
I'm pretty
Or
good
healthy.
with no sleep. It's not healthy for sure, but I'm not healthy.
No, and I think that
Well-
by the end of the week, you're exhausted, and you didn't used to be like that.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we had that argument on the night that we stayed up all night after taking like an entire bottle of No-Dose, and I couldn't play video games because I was shaking
That
too badly.
was such a fun night. So Patty comes over. This is when I used to live in the place where Patty lives now.
Good
I'm not
job.
going to say I would never say it. I only said it once.
I know, and I actually said it first.
Number.
I
No,
listened.
I'm just kidding.
I listened to the episode where I thought he gave like the place where I live away, and then I was like, we had an argument about it, not a real one. And I listened to the episode, and I was like, oh, I said it first. Like it just kind of came out when I was
Yeah.
talking, and I'm like, now everyone knows where I live.
Yeah, now everyone knows that Sam lives in Billerica.
Billerica, North Billerica or South Billerica?
I don't know, across from the prison.
Really?
What? You can find her trying to seduce
I was
inmates
going to say
there.
that explains a lot about why she hangs outside her house in a little nightie.
Oh, yeah.
She's always walking down the street topless with lemonade.
Yeah, corn.
It's all those sexy
With some
prisoners.
corn on the cob.
And isn't the prison that's next to you like where really bad people go?
No.
Oh, I thought it was like for the worst.
No, it's like petty crime.
Oh, so like Pam Smart.
Sure.
That's not petty.
Oh, it's not?
No.
I thought it was petty. She hired someone to kill her husband. That's petty.
No, that's,
Well, yeah.
that's petty, quote unquote. But petty crime doesn't mean stupid crimes. It means like small,
Like there's
like
no
small
murderers
little,
in there.
like misdemeanors.
What's a
And-
patty crime?
Oh my god, you don't have
Being
that,
that
kind of time.
beautiful.
Oh, I don't have
There
a,
isn't that much time on the radio. We only have an hour.
an hour.
Mm.
So, big news that did happen this week. Yeah,
I
so
was gonna say we never told the no-dose story.
no. Oh, we're gonna come right back to that. Keep no-dos in your mind. So, big news from this week: Life's a Drag on June 28th, the night before Pride.
Mhm.
We are gonna have our first reality TV show, celebrity
Show.
in the studio, not on the phone,
Freudian
in the
slip.
studio
I
doing our show.
know.
So on June 28th, Jessica Wilde will be here live in the studio, and so will Chastity Marie from Cincinnati.
Yay. That's so exciting.
I know. I'm so excited to meet these girls.
and I love that
Well, I've
they're
met
just
Jessica
as
Wilde.
excited.
You should make
Oh, yeah,
sure
they're so
there's some
excited.
berry acai here
Yeah, I
for
know.
Jessica.
So she can be like, I love this drink. the whole time she's on the radio. I think that's what she says when she doesn't know what to say.
She's like, how was your day? I love this drink.
You're so pretty. I love this drink. Thank you. You know, she does say I love this drink a lot. In my imagination, at
I
least.
was gonna say.
It's not like I talk to
your
her
head.
frequently or
I think
anything.
you say it more than she does.
Probably. And I'm probably going to say it to her like 100 times when I'm drinking. Like
You
the first
did-
time I met
I was
her.
going to say, yeah, you've already embarrassed yourself enough.
Yeah,
don't
the
you think?
first time I met her, I was like, oh my God, I love this drink. I love it. I love it. She was like telling Julio, like, does this white girl ever shut up? In Spanish.
No, that was Lanisha Sparks.
I think it was both of them,
Well,
to be
I-
honest. I think every Drag Race girl has been like, what is wrong with Monique?
Oh no, they do, but we often talk about it, so they all understand now what's wrong with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
But the no-dose story. So Patty came over my house. We were hanging out, and I was like, we were trying to stay awake, and I found a bottle of no-dose in my medicine cabinet. And I'm like, oh, we take these. So we took one, and like an hour later, we're like, oh, I don't think it's doing anything. So we took another one, and then
Like a half an hour later, we're like, "Oh, it's not working. So we took another one. And then we read the bottle.
which states in very bold letters, do not take more than one in a 24 time period.
24 time period.
24
What's wrong
hour
with
time
you?
period.
Yeah, so we were, I was up all night and
We're still
I'm a
awake.
very, yeah.
This is 5 years
I
ago.
haven't slept yet.
And that was the first night I tried to get Patty to play video games with me. And we were playing like the
I'm
original Mario
really bad at
Brothers.
any video game. But
Yeah.
after taking no-dose repeatedly, I was like this.
She literally just kept walking into the hole, the first hole in the ground. Because she couldn't even, I was getting so mad at her. Because I'm like, we're not even getting anywhere.
And didn't you keep giving me lives? You were like,
I think so. And then you
Yeah.
just kept jumping in the hole.
they look like fun pipes.
No, the pipes are fun. The hole is not.
Oh.
The hole means you're going to hell.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Mario. on
Mario
fire.
hell?
Mario on fire.
Hella Mario.
It's not the first time we did something stupid.
It won't be
It
the
won't be
last.
the last.
No, we're going ghost hunting this weekend.
Exactly.
So I'm
we're
sure.
prime. We're prime for stupidity this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. And we'll be going live from the Life's a Drag page a couple of times. And and that'll be cool.
And we're wearing matching T-shirts.
Oh, yeah, Thelma and Louise.
Mhm.
Does yours say Thelma or just mine?
No, you're Louise.
I felt like I was Louise.
I feel like you. I feel like a Thelma.
You do look like a Thelma or
I
like a
know.
Velma.
I do look like Velma from at certain periods from
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby and Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
You're a sleuth.
Well, I'm very
Minus
intelligent.
the letter or two.
And I wear. Really, I
Anyway.
wish from your mouth to God's ear.
Who? Oh my God. So really quickly, we're not going to get too much into it because Patty has not actually watched the Drag Race reunion this
And
week.
do you know why? Because you told me it was too. It took two. It was gonna.
So you can't even talk. Obviously, you misinterpreted what I
I
said.
am lying. I can't talk when I lie.
So next week's the finale. This week
no,
was
you
the
told me
reunion.
last week. 2 weeks in the reunion.
No, I
then
meant for the finale.
Well, you lied to me, and I didn't watch it.
I didn't lie to her. She's such a liar. She's on Farmers Only now.
No, I'm not.
Are you sure?
Are you kidding me? Is that why? Is that John made a comment on the Life's a Drag
Oh, yeah.
page in his review? He said something about can't wait till Patty's on Farmers Only or something. Did he do something today that I need to know about, John?
No, we're going away tomorrow though, so you never know what a car ride can do for your Farmers Only account.
God, you can't build a profile on a mobile.
Yeah, you can.
No,
On the mobile.
I have an iPad.
mobile.
That's, do you also call them shears? And do you call the remote control the clicker? How old is Patty? Let's judge it by the word she uses. Do you own a Fabergé egg?
No, I do not own a Fabergé egg.
I feel like that's something you would own, though.
That's no, hell no.
You would own a fake one.
No, I wouldn't even. Who wants an egg on display in their house? Who wants to display an egg?
Fancy people.
The Easter Bunny.
Oh, well, sorry, I'm not the Easter Bunny.
I'm sorry, you're not the Easter Bunny too.
The Easter Bunny is in a pan with Glenn Close.
God, the Easter Bunny's on fire.
Fire. He's boiling. Back in the 80s. Yeah, so Drag Race this week was the reunion, and it was more or less like let's rip each other apart, which every reunion show typically
Every
is.
Untucked show is like that. Dan, you watch it a lot. Dan, tell us what you think. I'm interested to know.
Well, actually, I don't really watch Untucked because
Why?
they don't have that on Amazon. I don't think you can buy that. So I actually watched the season through Amazon, and I wound up watching like the first 40 something minutes of the reunion. So I can talk about that part. I can't talk about after.
Oh, then never mind.
I think
if you
in
can
the-
watch the whole thing. That's
Yeah,
fine.
and I think the last 20 minutes they really just showed they showed the celebrity guest judges bloopers,
Yeah.
which were hysterical because Joe McHale did
Joe
a blooper.
McHale just screeching.
And he punches Michelle in the shoulder in one of them and goes, "Yes!" And she just looks at him like, "This isn't a football game." And he's like, "It's a competition." I want him to be a permanent judge next year.
I think that would
Just
be
to
amazing.
piss off Michelle.
Exactly.
Well, then Michelle would get up and
she
leave.
Hated him.
Oh my
and
God.
It was, every second of it was awesome.
We had Michelle Visage up here to co-host a show with me, a pageant, and you
She
could
was
tell when
lovely.
she didn't like people, though. Like she's exactly like she is on the show. Like she just gets really quiet and pissed off looking.
Well,
Yeah, she's wicked funny though.
She told you
She
should help
doesn't
your friend.
seem- She
Yeah,
does-
we're not going to talk about that on the air.
she doesn't seem funny to me on the show. I mean, I know that a lot of their comments when they're doing runway are obviously very canned, and you know, I think it's old. But just when she's talking, I don't find her funny.
Oh,
She's
see,
actually super sweet. In
she's a
person.
Jersey
Like,
bee.
she's
That's what
I
it
would
is.
never believe that she was a nice person.
She really is, though.
Like,
I mean,
RuPaul,
she
I would
was to
believe
me.
is a nice person.
She's nice to you if you're like, if she likes you. She wasn't very nice to people that I felt like she didn't like at the. She was nice to
Okay,
everyone
that- I
at
mean,
the
that-
pageant.
That makes her not a nice person.
No, she was pretty nice at the pageant. She did say some bad things to me, but we were co-hosting and I was ripping her apart, calling her a dude.
There's so much she could have said about you that was bad, though. I
She
mean,
didn't say
had
anything
a
bad about
lot-
me to my
she
face.
had a lot of material to work with.
She didn't say anything bad to me about
that she knows about.
except that I had a uniboob in that gown.
You did.
Yeah, I had a wicked
always
uniboob.
have a uniboob, so I get your girl. Get you.
I get your
Though,
girl.
not in your
Mhm.
Life's a Drag Too Soon tea. That Patty is modeling a tank from Life's a Drag
I
on
can't
Too
twist
Soon
that part,
Teas on
though.
Teespring.
From the Too Soon
And
Tea collection.
She has a couple of things you should know before you buy. Yeah, what happened with the first shirt, the comfort?
So I got the comfort. It was like the lazy women's tee, and because I don't like the t-shirts that
Choke you.
the collar's right around there, and it came and it was perfect there, but it came up to like my belly button, and I don't wear half shirts for good reason. And this tank top, I always get things bigger than I need, and this is like skin tight on me. That's why I have something over it, because if not, I would be knocking people out walking down the street.
You have pendulous.
Bam, bam,
Yep.
bam, bam, bam.
If you hung them out the window, you could knock people over going into Fratellis.
Imagine like they just like, what just hit my head?
That would be the best thing
Would
ever.
be.
Who knocked
Like,
over
is-
my pizza?
That gargoyle's about to fall off the roof.
Like pendulum, whoom, whoom,
Whoom,
whoom.
whoom.
They would look like those little. Oh, sorry about that. They would look like those little, ching, ching. What are those ching balls? Like ching, ching, ching.
Oh, they're like they're like relaxing
I
balls.
don't think they're called ching balls. That's just the sound they make.
Are
Yeah.
you talking about the
Ching,
little Chinese
ching,
balls that you like?
ching.
No. The
No.
ones
And
that
they
you let
hang-
go and
Oh,
it
the
hits.
pendulum thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pendulum.
They're ching balls. No, it's not a pendulum.
Well,
Isn't it called a ball pendulum or a pendulum?
No, let's ask the people.
Google.
Let's ask the people.
If you are just tuning in, you're listening to Life's Drag. My name is Monique Too Soon. I am here as a boy tonight because I am going on a weekend getaway tomorrow, and I do not want to be scraping makeup out of my ear while driving. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
And my skin gets irritated and itchy and yucky. And
You should drive with me, and then you can shave my chin.
oh, I did that once too. Were we
Mhm.
ghost hunting when I did that?
We were on our way to Lizzie Borden.
Okay, we were on our way to Lizzie Borden,
Yeah.
and Patty had this wicked large amount of chin hair. And I was like, what in the heck is going
He was
on?
so offended by my chin.
Yeah. So I literally pulled out my electric razor and started shaving
While I
Patty's
was
face while
driving.
she was driving.
And took pictures of himself doing it so he could commemorate it in front of
I'm
everybody.
sure it'll come up in my like 5-year memory soon.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years since we did that trip.
I know.
So
That
back-
was the trip when we went to the War Museum.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great. We'll talk about that too tonight. But for now, let's just get back to Drag Race really quick.
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
get this
yeah,
over
sorry.
with. So the reunion was pretty lame to me. It was more or less fighting. I do got to say that they did address that Nina is getting a lot of social media fans now because of her elimination, and they showed is it Alexandra Cortez?
I have no idea. what
The
you're
one that
talking about.
went from working as a waitress to becoming a senator.
Oh, Alexandra.
Ocasio
yeah.
Cortez.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she made a video for Nina and they showed it on
No,
the show.
she did not.
She did, and just talked about how wonderful of a person she is and how she's going to be so good in life. And she's so excited that her journey's now starting. And she gave her like this huge shout out video.
I love it.
Well, because Nina's very political and very like outspoken about like gay rights and trans rights and all that stuff. So
Yeah, she came out with a children's album.
Really?
Yeah, and it's in the top 5 on iTunes
Is
right
it
now.
Drag is Magic?
Yes. That's
Oh
one
my
of the
gosh,
songs on
I,
it.
I totally love everything that Nina posts on Instagram.
I downloaded like clips from the album just to see what it sounded like, and it sounded super cute. Like I may perform something from it someday. Maybe at Pride when I have to be family friendly.
Yeah, you totally should. I love everything about that woman.
I honestly team Nina all the way to the end. I hope they surprise us and she wins.
That would be
Forget everyone
stunning,
else here.
That would be a stunning revelation if that happened.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, team Nina, then team Brooklyn. Dan from Club 96 is team Evie.
You know it.
Oh god.
I was on Team Evie at the beginning, but I turned on her. I'll be honest. I was totally a little bit obsessed with her because she was so out there and so weird, and I loved what she brought to the table. And then she just started. It was like
She started
the way that
stirring
she was.
crap.
She started stirring crap, and then acting like she wasn't stirring crap, and acting like everyone else was so dumb. And I don't know. I just got a little tired of it.
Her story
I
just stopped
tire of
adding up.
personalities. Like her drag is, I think, great, but personality is what keeps me in.
Yeah.
But as we've all come to know, though, Drag Race is no longer about your talent in drag at this point. I mean, it is to a degree, but it's about who has the biggest personality, who's going to get them the most ratings, who's
Well, 2 people were eliminated this year, and that shouldn't have been eliminated at their time.
100%.
Well,
So, and that was
Nina-
Sugar Cane and Nina.
Sugar and
2 weeks in
Nina.
a row.
Yep.
2 weeks in a row, 2 people got eliminated
No,
that
I
should have
don't
never
think
gone
that
home.
Sugarcane had what it took to win. I don't think she would have made it till the end.
No.
She was in my
no, but she
personal
did
top
not. She
3.
did. Oh, really?
Really?
I don't think she was that good for top
That
3.
was
My
a really
top-
bad choice, Sam.
Yeah.
My top 3 was Brooklyn, Nina, and Sugar.
See, and you know what? I think that RuPaul was being strategic by eliminating Nina too, because I think if Nina had gotten into the top 4, America would have spoken on behalf of Nina, and she wouldn't have had a choice but to crown her. So I think that she was being. I don't think she's ready for this yet. I think that was RuPaul's way of doing that, because you know
Yeah.
how RuPaul fixes things on the show.
Yeah.
Like we've been told by people that have been on the show
Yeah.
that she'll change the lip sync song 5 minutes before they were lip syncing for their lives to make someone else look better in the lip sync. They know how to edit the season to make it look good.
Well, that show is the most edited show I think I've ever seen. You can tell
It's highly
it's
edited.
highly clipped. Yeah.
Yeah. And they do take things and they piece them in other places. But one thing that I have been told by Drag Race girls too is you can't blame the edit on the way you look on the show, because everything they edited you actually
said.
did say it. You said it.
Yeah.
Just because it looks bad in an edit, you still said it. So, and I agree with that. They
I
can't
agree
just
with
make
that
words
too,
up.
but-
They're, it's not like they're stitching stuff together that
But they do, because we'll watch commercials and they stitch them together
to make
like
it look bad in a
something- that's
commercial,
something-
but not in the show.
Oh, okay.
In a
yeah.
commercial, they absolutely will make something look like, oh, she's going home tonight, but then you see the show and she's the winner.
Right.
Yeah,
They
they'll
always
have-
do that. Yeah, they do that, I think, to create the drama for you to come back next week.
They'll have the judges say, "Oh, you did horribly," and they'll,
And they'll
show
show, like-
Vanjie,
Yeah,
Like
and then
making a
Vanjie
sad
won.
face or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
crying in the
exactly.
dressing
Yeah.
room because Silky ate her taco.
No,
Oh, Silky Nutmeg, go home.
I don't. Even. I love it. I love it.
They're really trying to make her the winner.
What
They're
does she
really
have on
doing it.
RuPaul?
I feel like she has to know something.
She has
about
something bad
RuPaul.
on RuPaul to be
Has
kept
to be.
there that long.
She knows something we all don't.
And she kept making up excuses for her pads being bad, like that she only bought one pair of pads with her, and that's why they were like that. And then people started being like, there was padding in the dressing room. You could have made new pads.
Yeah, Nina said that last night.
Oh, yeah, she
said,
called her out.
No, they made a comment about my body, and I went and fixed it because we have foam, and we can make new pads.
Yeah. And then Brooklyn got called out for something she said live. Yeah, she was apparently live at a show at Roscoe's, which is like a really big drag destination, and there's one in Chicago. And she was live at this thing, and she said that Scarlet Envy was unliked by the whole cast of season 11.
She used the word hated.
And the whole cast hates her.
She said
while hosting a
everyone
show.
on the show hates Scarlet.
So that
Well, they kind of did.
they did. They did. And you know what? Scarlett didn't do any better last night. Like, she definitely rubs me wrong in every single way.
She really does.
But
I was kind of feeling that green look, though.
No.
I don't know why.
I'm going to tell you after the show, she reminds me of a drag queen that we worked with.
Oh.
The way she talks and the way she looks. I'm going to tell you after, though, because I don't want to say it on the air and then get in trouble.
Drama.
But also, one thing that happened last night that I thought was kind of interesting too, after that whole thing went down with Brooklyn and Scarlett, they asked people to compliment the top four, say one nice thing about each top four, and Scarlett was the one that got to say something nice about Brooklyn. And she said it was beautiful to watch her move. Like, she's just so talented in the dance way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the compliment that Silky got was kind of two-handed. Like, it was two-sided almost. Like, it was like,
I didn't see that.
oh, you didn't
part.
see it yet?
No.
So I think it was it Ariel?
I can't remember. Honestly.
One of them said something.
Oh.
Vague.
I feel like it was.
Then did the other person say something too?
No, I feel like it was Ariel. And I think she gave her a compliment that she stayed true to herself the whole show.
It was.
But it was
something.
kind of like a two-handed compliment. Like, it was kind of like, but.
Like, you said,
even though Michelle told you to fix this 100 times,
And
you
you
stayed
didn't.
true to you.
Yeah.
Like, it was something.
No, even though everyone hated you. You
But the
didn't change.
whole fight came back about the wigs. The missing wigs at Ariel Versace. I call her Ariel Versace. I always
I
thought
call her
la-
Versace too.
I always thought
can't
her
help
last
it.
name was Versace based off of Showgirls.
No, it's Versace.
It's Versace. She's definitely not a Versace.
No.
She's a Versace.
I would call her a Versace.
She is a Versace. But yeah, so next week's the finale, and you can hashtag who you want to win on Facebook. So when you get on there, hashtag Team Brooklyn Heights. Don't listen to
Hashtag
anything
Team
Dan
Brooklyn Heights.
Or hashtag Team Evie.
No.
says. Okay, so talk to me, Sam, because he's a little Evie Oddly. He's so into her. Did you think
I love
her?
Evie Oddly as much as I love Club 96.
Oh God!
That's a
And
lot of
I
love.
hate
That's a lot.
I hate Naomi Smalls, but I loved Club 96 because it was so
That was
stupid.
funny.
But so, did you think Evie's reunion looked like $150,000?
No.
It looked like $10, and she should have stayed home.
I think it
What?
was a
Why-
cute look in like just I don't know,
It
a
looked
regular
so
everyday
poorly
type
executed to me. Like, the makeup was so perfectly round. Like, when you're
Mhm.
putting on a mask, it didn't. At first, I was like, is she trying to be the lady from Beetlejuice that got cut in half?
of thing.
And I was like, that's kind of cool that she's doing that, but
That would
she
have been
wasn't.
dope, but
But all the things on her face, all the hair curls were actually drawn on.
Yeah.
Like, come on, get a wig. Like, Brooklyn had the same curls, like the Delia
did.
Dietz curls.
Oh yeah.
What's the reference to $150,000? You keep saying
That's how much money they win.
Is it 150 or
Oh.
100,000?
I think it's 100,000.
It's
$100,000.
Well, then maybe she didn't win and she couldn't afford anything nice.
Well, they don't know who
They
won
don't
yet.
know
They
who
don't
won
know
yet.
until it airs on TV. They all say that now because they do film alternate endings. But what could happen, which they did say the wheel's coming. So what happens
what they did
sometimes at the
last time.
finales is RuPaul will make them spin a wheel, and that they're choosing who they lip sync against to go into the top two. So they sometimes have to lip sync live at the finale. So
I
if
hope they
Evie
do that.
ends up lip syncing against Silky or Kyria, who do you think's going to win?
Well,
Evie.
Yeah.
If Evie
Well, I
and
don't know,
Brooklyn go
because
up
I've
against
seen-
each other,
Didn't Vanjie and Silky? No, who did Silky when she
Nina.
was right? And Silky, right? Silky lip synced, and she was awful, and
Right.
she still got to stay.
Right.
I mean, Nina wasn't amazing.
No, but if they flip that wheel and it's whoever goes up against Silky or Kyria is going to take them down
Mhm.
in that first thing. But if it's Evie versus Brooklyn, that's a hard lip sync.
because they're both incredible.
Yeah, that's
lip
Gumby.
syncers.
Yeah.
Gumby versus Gumby. What
True.
was the horse's name?
On Gumby?
Yeah.
I don't
Pokey?
know.
Pokey.
Wow,
Yeah.
right. Dan with
So,
the Pokey.
I think Brooklyn is Gumby, and I think Evie is Pokey.
I think Evie's Pokey.
Yeah.
No, Evie's
No,
Gumby.
Evie's Gumby.
Oh, you think so?
Because she's real
she can
flexible.
contort herself. Where
That's true.
Brooklyn is very graceful and
I can't handle her laugh anymore either.
No, I can't.
I
either.
can't stand it anymore.
It is a different. It is a different laugh. It is a different laugh. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Did she
no.
laugh like that in person
I love
too?
how he'll give us that because it's
She was
not
actually very
100%
nice.
true. I gotta
No.
give you that.
So let me ask you, Dan, Mr. Cronin, who used to work in the adult toy industry.
So it was technically a catalog company that sold like 14 different catalogs, one of which had products that,
We're for adults only.
yes.
For farmersonly.com.
Actually, I think they applied for a couple things.
I think
Yeah.
we're gonna get sued by farmersonly.com.
No,
they might be a sponsor.
They need to
They might be a
advertise
sponsor.
us for real. Let's call the 1-800 number live on the radio one night. And we'll try and get them to advertise with us while they're live. We'll be like, you're live, so you can't say no.
Everyone's judging
Give
you.
us your credit card number. We'll bleep it out.
But we won't.
Right?
But we'll use it. Yeah, so out of every season of Drag Race and every drag queen you've ever met, who's your favorite?
Ooh, tough question.
You can answer it too,
Well,
Sam.
because the one that I absolutely love is one that I know that you're not particularly a fan of because of an incident that happened a while back that we talked about on the drive home from Kathy Griffin.
Does
where
it
we
rhyme
also
with
saw-
Del Nacho?
No.
No, not Del Nacho, not Del Nacho. The one, the only, the Bianca Del Rio.
That's what I was
she's
talking
my
about.
spirit animal. It doesn't rhyme with Del Nacho.
Well, it sounds like Del Nacho.
No.
No, it doesn't.
Bianca Del Rio, Bianca Del Nacho.
No, that doesn't sound like it. You're just making a play on her name.
My beef with Bianca was that we were backstage in a dressing room. I idolized her. Like I looked up to her so much after the show was on because I was like, this is the kind of drag I am. This is the kind of drag I aim to be. This is me all in a package. And I begged the club to book her. Begged them because she was over $10,000 to book. Like, and the club, I don't even think they made their money back on that, but I begged them to book her. I begged and begged and begged. And then she shows up and I hung out with her during the day a little bit and she was just normal. She was with her manager. Me and Layla actually hung out with her and she seemed very chill and down to earth. And then at the club, same thing, just really cool. And then another person showed up at the club and she just started getting really weird with me and started saying things that weren't funny or mean. They were just kind of weird feeling things. And it rubbed me the wrong way really quickly.
So fun fact.
Like she definitely looked at me at one point and was like, she's like, don't you have a job to do? And it was so serious and flat. And I was like, whoa. Like, and the way she was talking to me made me feel like trash.
Oh, that's horrible.
And I was like, well, that's nice. I idolized you, but now you're a crap face.
Sometimes that's the hard part is when you actually think so much of somebody. It's like having a crush on someone that you've never spoken to, and then you meet them and you're like, wow, that
What a
just
disappointment.
totally
You're
wrecked my
awful.
crush. You know, and you wish you could go back because having the crush was so much fun.
Yeah.
And
If
then
you are
it's
just tuning
ruined.
into Life's a Drag, or if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Life's a Drag. My name is Monique Too Soon, and
I can't believe this is the first
I am
time
here
you've
with.
done that.
No, I've done it twice.
No.
Yep, I'm here with Patty. I'm here with Sam, and I'm here with Dan. Sam and Dan, and I would like to go back to my question. That was your favorite. I know you're also obsessed with Nina Bonina Brown.
Who isn't?
I adore her.
I'm obsessed with just making fun of her name.
Seeing her live is next level. I saw her. They did the Dragathon for Halloween this past year with the Boulet Brothers, and she turned it out during a Michael Jackson Thriller number that was just off the rails.
She's a good dancer, and she's
Good-
also a look queen. Like she
yeah.
she takes a piece of construction paper and turns herself into a bush.
Yeah, no,
Like-
she's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's
great.
she's really cute. Who's your favorite ever?
I mean, I guess basing it off of the people that I've like met and stuff, I'd say Chad Michaels.
Chad
She's
Michaels
just-
was probably the sweetest person I
She's
ever
just super sweet and really just genuine, and like you could tell that he was just a nice person.
My mom loved Chad Michaels.
met. Yeah. Patty's mom did love Chad.
Mhm.
I think my favorite all time, based off on who I've met and who I would love to just watch on the show, is Alyssa Edwards.
She was so fun.
She's
Oh
just
my
so
God.
stupid, and she's exactly the same in person. Like you don't even know if she's serious half the time because she's like, it looks like the lights off in her head.
No, remember we when we had you had detox and she was telling us about Alyssa before we met her, and she was like, the way she is on TV is her.
Yeah.
Like
She can't fake stupid. She
no,
is.
like she really is like that.
But that's what makes her. I literally watched her put on lip gloss for 25 minutes nonstop in the bath or in the dressing room, and I was like, it doesn't look any better than it did 25 minutes ago. Like
I asked her when I met her to teach me how to tongue pop, because I don't know if you guys can do it, but I have no idea how.
What's
Mm.
that?
I can't really do it, but I asked her, and
Let's keep trying. I'm
she
sure the
looks
people
at
home will
me.
Like it.
It's ASMR.
Oh.
No,
oh my
but
god, we should do an ASMR episode and we'll eat pickles into the microphone.
I absolutely love ASMR.
I do too.
I love
just-
the lady
not
who
when
eats the
people-
pickles.
Not when people eat.
Oh, see, that's my favorite. The
I
lady who
listened
eats
to
the
one,
pickles.
and it's a girl who does like an at-home spa, and she's like, "Oh, your hair is so soft," and I'm like, "Yes, it is."
You're
I
just
wanna
using
go to
her as a
sleep.
compliment machine.
Anyway. I need one.
She does it every Friday
Because
after
of
the
you.
radio show.
Because of you.
You have one of those like inspirational CDs in
Yeah,
the car
to
for the
listen
ride
on
home.
on the way. You bring
You
me
are
home.
beautiful.
You bring
are
me home
pretty.
and you continue to the horrificness on the way home.
Yeah, and then I drop you off and I'm like, bye, love you.
Yeah.
Bye, get out of my car. No, but as I was saying, I asked Alyssa to teach me how to tongue pop, and she turns and looks at me and goes, "Baby, I need to rehearse. You can't just ask me to do that." And like,
Oh
it
god.
got scary.
She does say
and
baby.
I just, yeah, I was like, oh.
All right, so let's get off the subject of Drag Race. If you're just listening, you're tuning into Life's a Drag. My name is Monique Soon, and I am here with Patty, Sam, and Dan. And now we're going to talk about ghosts.
This show all of a sudden got scary.
So, one thing that did happen fairly recently is Elizabeth Warren died.
I know.
So sad. She was the last living of the two Warrens, Ed and Lorraine. And if you don't know who Ed and Lorraine Warren are, they are the occultist and demonologist that are the reason we have the Conjuring movies and Annabelle, and they investigated Amityville, and they are the ones that actually own this museum that you see in the movies, and it's in Connecticut, and it's in Lorraine's house. And me
Well,
and
it's like in her backyard. It's like a
Yeah,
separate.
it's a weird
building. It's not.
it's a shed, but it's connected to the house, kind
Right.
of.
Mm.
But in the movies, it's not a shed; it's inside the house.
Well,
it's like actually in the house,
Right.
Yeah, they put it in
It's
like,
like
the
an
basement.
extension.
in it
Yeah,
or
in
something.
real
the
life,
house.
it's like in a really heavy, full of spiders and ticks shed.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Oh,
it was
it
a
was-
very dark and somber place, though. It
I had a
was.
tick on. Someone had a tick on them
you
in
had
the
to do-
museum.
before they let you in. You had to like do
Pray.
this whole like meditation where you surround yourself in white light.
Yeah,
It was pretty intense.
and they said not to touch anything in there. The museum
Well,
itself is
it was
literally
their
tiny, though.
nephew that gave us the tour.
Oh,
It's
was it?
No, it's the guy that's married to Ed and Lorraine's daughter.
Okay, so their son-in-law.
I feel like his name might have been Ed Sherpa.
See, I thought it was Tony.
Oh, Tony. Tony. It is
Ed.
Tony.
Tony.
Ed Sherpa is another person that deals with them. They're
Right.
somehow related.
Right.
And I think they run the museum because Lorraine at that time was really old.
Yeah.
She was home. We didn't get to talk to her, though.
Right. No.
This museum is literally in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
It took a long time to get there.
It did. Well, we were staying at Lizzie Borden's house 2 nights in a row. So
Yeah,
we
and this
took
was
like
a
a day
detour.
trip.
Yeah.
After the first night, we drove like 4 hours one way and then
To meet Annabelle,
to meet Annabelle, which
who's
we did.
like a 4-foot Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's not at all what Annabelle looks like in the movies, but they
Well,
had
I
things
mean,
there, the actual things that you see in the movies, like the Crooked Man.
It's called a xyloscope, maybe, or a xenoscope. It's the thing that spins around and the Crooked Man dances on the walls.
Yeah, and they had
That-
like the
nope.
actual one,
Mm-mm.
not the one from the movie, the actual
Oh,
one from the
wow.
case. It was pretty.
Pretty
and
cool
so
to look at.
I was a little ahead of like I was walking around and like kind of looking, half paying attention, half looking, and I knocked over this thing and I turned around and grabbed it and I kind of stationed it and then we the group caught up and the Tony guy goes like, oh, this piece here is the wooden man. We found him in the woods and the police brought him to us because it was a part of a like devil worship group, yada yada. And he goes, it's the most evil thing in here, do not touch it. And I was like, I just hugged him. I like not really sure what's gonna happen to me now.
I'm scared.
I just kind of made out with the most evil thing in the place. It was so
and now all of
stupid.
a sudden the power's gone. Patty is a cleansing agent. The demon entered Patty and was like, I can't handle this house, I'm just gonna leave.
Was that the same weekend that me and Veronica Suckhard came up and you guys got the thing?
I think that's when we went on. That was that weekend. They came up that second night.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and you bought the little bobblehead thing, and it like,
and then
we bought the bobblehead. Did we buy it on that trip? I feel like we bought that before that.
Yeah, I don't think we bought it on that trip, but
Oh no, we did because we bought it on the second trip and left it there because we only
That's
stayed there
right.
twice. So we
that's
did.
right. And then
But we bought it on the way out. We didn't buy it during the trip.
we
no, but because Patty
remember what
touched the
Tyler?
thing.
Remember what Tyler said when we went ghost hunting down in Massachusetts after staying there?
Tyler's the
a few
psychic who
weird
owns the
things-
ghost hunting company we ghost hunt with.
Yeah, the Ghost Hunts
Who's
USA.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Some weird stuff was happening at Rob's place and just some really weird stuff was happening. And the pictures at Rob's house, your old house,
Yeah.
2 of them had fallen to the floor.
And they looked like they were punched.
Yeah, they didn't look like they just fell to the floor. It
Yeah.
looked there was holes in them, like someone had punched them. And the only 2 that fell were the ones of me and Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And no joke.
No, yeah, I'm not joking.
And we would just hear them falling, like
Yeah.
randomly. They would just fall off the walls. And then one night we had people over for a party and we were all just sitting at the kitchen table. And everyone, like 3 of the 5 of us or some big number, we kept looking up at the same time at the same thing. And
I
we kept
remember
seeing
that.
something in my house. But none of us could put our finger out. We all thought that somebody had just gone to the bathroom and we were all still sitting down.
I kept seeing like a shadow out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah. So, but when we
That
went
was
on the
terrifying.
first ghost hunting trip, like the first real one we went on, the psychic at the place, Tyler, who owns ghost-hunts-usa.com.
Yeah.
He actually told us, he's like, you definitely have an object that has things attached to it.
And he's like, I see broken glass.
And he's like, it's in Patty's nightstand.
And then
And I'm
everyone
like,
got a good laugh out of that.
yeah, because I was like, does it take batteries? Well, little did we all know that Patty actually had the bobblehead in her nightstand.
I did because I put the bobblehead
He
in.
didn't know what to call it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a toy. But he's British, so he didn't really, I don't think he
Right.
knew
And I
what
was like,
bobblehead
okay, enough
was.
with the whole Patty has a toy in her nightstand. Ha 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 ha. And he was like, no, really. And I
He's
was
over
like,
there,
oh
"I'm
my God. I'm
serious."
like, that's where I keep it.
And we happen to have it
And he was like, you have to bring that back.
and
He's
leave
like-
it at Lizzie Borden.
He's like, you have to bring it back. And so we did. We actually went back to Lizzie Borden, spent the night, and on the next day we were like, here you go, Lizzie.
And we left it in Lizzie Borden's room on the exit sign. So if anyone
Yeah.
goes to stay at Lizzie Borden, let us know if that bobblehead that's possessed is
Yeah,
still
and
in there.
don't
Yeah, you put it
stay
on the door
there.
frame.
I know I'm
Left.
never buying anything from a haunted house again.
I got a keychain from there, and I'm not haunted that I know of.
You look
Mm.
possessed.
I mean, I do look like Annabelle.
You look a little bit like the lady from The Exorcist before she throws up.
The Exorcist, the little girl.
Yeah.
But who is that?
Just call me Reagan.
Reagan. Yes.
Reagan. Who's the person that plays her though?
Linda Blair.
Linda
Yes.
Blair.
Oh.
Who is now just like a cameo person in every movie. Like she always is in like every horror movie, but she's just a
But it's
cameo.
iconic.
I love it when she crab walks down the stairs in The Exorcist backwards, like
Kind of like Evie Oddly.
God, that just
oh.
Oh,
that wasn't
and we
original when Evie
circled
did it.
back. Club 96
Oh,
coming in
God.
hot.
Club 96. Yeah,
There's
so that,
ASMR.
so that ghost hunting trip was one of my favorites too, because when we went to this one, we went up alone on the first night, and then the second night friends joined us. But on the first night, we got to hang out with this bachelorette party that was at Lizzie Borden. They had rented out like the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
middle floor.
Yeah, you were obsessed with them.
They were so funny.
Whatever.
I had a lot of fun with them, but Patty's like, I think they're gonna piss off the ghost
I'm
because
friends
they were
with
like,
them on Facebook
I
still.
I don't like people that are just outright disrespectful. Like
Mm.
if you don't care or believe about that stuff, then don't go.
just shut up and don't go. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
just don't go. But and when you're like saying things like that you're gonna hurt the ghost or like
they
you're
were
gonna-
singing Adele to it. They're like, "Hello from the other side."
Yeah, like they were and I'm just like, you know what? Great, that's fine. You think it's funny. Like
Really? You don't like people who mock ghosts? Who's the one that put on a doily and ran around the room going, "Ooh"?
that was different. We weren't
Oh,
singing-
it was.
and I'll tell you why.
So different,
I'll
Dan,
tell
right?
you
It was
why.
so different.
I'm going to explain right now because it was you and me in a room acting like an idiot. When they were doing it, we were sitting in like a circle being serious and like actually ghost hunting.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
like a bunch of, drunk babes, someone's getting married, woo. And they're,
So don't get bitter and jealous over there. Like, calm down, Patricia.
and it was just like, oh, okay, get over yourself. Let's get back to the ghost hunting. That's why I go.
Yeah.
I want to go because I
And
want to.
Lizzie Borden's not real ghost hunting.
No,
It's-
only one thing happened there that ever kind of freaked me out.
Yeah, that little puck upstairs with the kids.
No,
Yeah.
actually, that was kind of freaky. But it was when you were downstairs with the Bachelor group, and I remember V was all worked up because there was a dude with the Bachelor, and he was like following him around all night.
Oh yeah, with his perm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's you too.
I was upstairs by myself, and
You hear it.
something really big slammed against the wall, and you know how
Sam walked into it.
No, you know how we were.
Oh, I didn't mean that you were big. I meant you just walked
no.
into it. I meant you were drunk and just walked into the wall.
No.
Yeah, something hit the wall, and it was pretty intense. And you know how we're in the kids' room when you're
Which
on
is
the
the
bed?
third floor of the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're looking, you can see down the hallway. You can see the entrances to the other rooms. So
Yeah,
I
you
was
can
like,
see the bathroom
Right.
and the other two, the maid's quarters,
Yeah.
and then the other room. I don't think that's the room where nothing happens.
Right. And I got up and looked in there, and there was nobody there. Like I was like, okay, guys, ha ha. And I was like, oh, I think I'll join them downstairs.
Yeah, so that was our first ghost hunting experience, and then we decided to go on a real ghost hunt with real psychics, and that one was creepy as hell. We went to the Houghton Mansion in North Adams, Mass, which this company has no rights to anymore. They're trying to get rights back. But we did go there, and that's where we met Tyler, who was a psychic, and he's a very strong psychic. So he can sense a lot of stuff about you. He will just spit things out that will scare the crap out of you.
He scared me. The guy that I was dating at the time was with me, and he was in a different room because they put you in different rooms to try and like see if you can compel ghosts or what have you.
Mhm.
And he came over to me and he's like, "Are you with that guy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I don't want to scare you or anything, but can you just make sure that he's safe in, when he's at work, like he's making sure that all the safety blah 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 is done." And he's like, "I kind of see like something falling on him or and something above
He said it was
him."
going to happen by like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's like, "I see something from above him falling on him." And I was like, okay. I'm like, he
Works on cars.
he works at a dealership, and he was a service manager, but he also worked on cars a lot. And I was like, that's stupid. Like, don't do that. Don't say that to me. And then, whatever, the night went on. And then on Tuesday that week, an engine fell and when he was working on the car, and the engine's in that chain,
Right,
and it's waiting to be put down into the car, the chains broke and the engine fell, and he just got himself out.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh
And he would put people alone in rooms. And I think when he would diminish these people to other places, he would get a better clarity of these people. And he had put Danny in a room by himself at one point, and Danny had like on the way into this room, like bashed his foot on something. And the whole time Danny was in there, he was like, "Oh my God, my foot hurts. My foot hurts really bad." And so Tyler was asking me, he's like, "Does he have two left feet?" He's like, "I keep seeing left foot, left foot, left foot, left foot." And then Danny comes out and he's like, "Oh, I hurt my left foot." like I hit it on something in the room in there, and I just kept thinking like it was sore and it was like raising off the ground. And
Yeah, he definitely freaked me out.
yeah, and then this past ghost hunting trip, we went to Winchendon, Mass, and we stayed at a ghetto hotel, but that's not the important part. What was the place we went to?
I do think it's the important part because Rob booked it for everyone, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry, I booked the hotel for everyone." Like, yay, that's great.
It was in Gardner. What did you expect?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Gardner.
Gardner is not.
I slept on the bed that night at the
rich
hotel,
area.
fully clothed, with my hood up and zipped, and my hands like this over the covers.
Really? Like you don't already have fleas?
One time.
Like, why are you hiding from bed bugs, girl? You clearly have them. So,
mean,
but
so
I
wrong.
don't remember what the name of the haunted places were down there. It was in Winchendon, whatever it was. There was 2 mansions. Well, one was a mansion and one was like a big house, and they were right next door to each other. And the house had like Murdoch Whitney. Yes,
Yeah.
Murdoch Whitney.
Yeah.
So, and in the first man, it was just this giant mansion. And when the ghost hunting tour started, they were telling us that it's like an escape room now, and it's a museum and an escape room, and the house was donated them by like these wealthy people that used to own it, and they are the only ones that really lived in this house forever. They were
It was
saying,
a beautiful, beautiful.
"Oh my god, the mansion was stunning. It had a bathtub in it that looked like it would fit 5 people."
I know.
I
It's
literally
my
wanted to take a
perfect
bath
tub.
with everyone.
It's amazing, yeah.
So this was the night though that we went, and the psychic that was there that night, who is our psychic when we go tomorrow, Pam, she had told us, she's like, "Oh, this is like our starter ghost hunting trip. Like nothing happens evil here. This is all like easy ghosts to deal with, and they're all friendly spirits, and you'll just see things like move." And for the first time ever, we actually did see something move.
Yeah.
Which was creepy.
We did, and we all tried to, even the psychic
Tried to
figure out how it happened. And there was just no
there was no way.
moved.
A door opened like on its own to a cabinet.
Like, and it was
It
like a
flew
book,
open.
It was a bookshelf.
And it was really tightly
and
shut.
she was like, "Oh," she said something about like, "I'm being drawn to this," and then she started to walk across the room, and the door just went.
It flew open.
And so we're all jumping
And
up
we were.
and down.
It was
and
in the
trying to, like,
chapel.
Yes.
It was in the chapel of
Yeah.
this mansion,
Yeah.
which me and Patty were in like 10 minutes earlier, and I was like making jokes in there and
Yeah, I
like
was standing
taking
next to the-
pictures of me like on the ground praying to
Because
the
the Jesus,
priest,
the little priest was like, "Rrr," so I was like behind it, like,
and I'm on the floor like.
because I don't want you to disrespect ghosts, but priest, that's
But
totally
yeah,
fine.
but you know, the church, whatever.
But yeah, so in that house, we did witness that door opening, and then I was tormented by a ghost in the basement.
Yes, you were.
But they have like this little ghost text box. I think it was called Pandora's box or something.
Yep.
And it was just this little machine. It was like a BlackBerry, and all of a sudden, like it had like 3 or 4 words at a time on the screen. And then when we went into the basement, the screen said, "Rob, human sacrifice, and bacon." Well, Rob's my name. Bacon is the tattoo I have on my foot.
And
Human
we all want to
sacrifice.
sacrifice him.
No, and the psychic was trying to tell me, she's like, "I think you're being targeted because you're kind of not taking things. You're scared." She's like, "You're clenching really tight," and she thinks I'm hiding a gift that I possibly have, like a psychic ability, but I'm keeping it really buried because I'm afraid.
I mean, you could if you.
Well, that night she made me do like some little meditation thing with her, and at one point in the night she was talking to the ghost about a war, and I for some reason couldn't get Hawaii out of my brain. And I kept seeing Hawaii, and then we went into another room, and that little Pandora's box spit out the word island. And then I looked at the psychic, and I'm like, "So this is kind of weird that we're now in another room." And I was like,
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking of Hawaii in the other room, and then like 2 doors down, someone screams, "Bingo, that's it." Like they hear it come out of the Phasma boxes, which are they're computers with the software that cuts out the white noise and radio frequencies,
Yeah,
so you
and
can hear
they
clear.
put the headphones on you and then send you away, and then you just say whatever you hear, and it often ties into what's happening down in another room.
Yeah, so they'll be
I
like
went into the basement corner
with
by
that
myself
machine.
in the pitch black with that
Ugh,
machine, and
no.
I was just yelling out stuff, and they were all on the other side of the basement. I couldn't hear anything that they were saying, and I couldn't even see them.
No, and they'd be asking questions.
I was like answering things for them, and I had no idea.
Oh yeah,
It was really
we
weird.
actually, me and Jenny bought this thing because it was so crazy when we went the first time. It doesn't really happen like crazy at our homes and stuff, probably because they're not very ghosty.
Well, yeah.
But this machine, the first night we went ghost hunting, the real one, we were in the basement and we're like, this machine is so stupid. It's so freaking fake. It keeps calling the psychic the C word.
Yeah.
Like it was calling the psychic that night the C word
true,
a lot.
But
Yeah, she was kind of obnoxious. I
She
can
was
understand why
obnoxious.
she owns the hotel we're staying at tomorrow, just FYI.
well, she's not going to be there. So.
She might.
I
Right.
mean, actually, even when we went to Wizzy Borden, that little light box that it looked like it had the little glow sticks
That's the
sticking
puck.
out of it
That's a
that like
puck.
lit
That's
up.
what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, that was really attached to you. Remember? It
Oh,
kept-
every
it
time I
kept
walked
going
by it,
off
it went
when you
off.
would
Yeah,
walk by
like I
it,
have a
and-
spirit attached to me or something.
Yeah, and it wouldn't go off when anyone else was near.
It doesn't go
every
off for
time you
humans,
walked
only
over.
spirits, and I set it off like crazy.
And then other people would walk by it and nothing. And then
We
Robert
all
would walk by
tried.
it and it was like rainbow lights.
Every
And
single
it
light
wasn't
would
like,
go off.
you know,
Yeah.
rainbow, I'm so proud I'm gay lights. It was like,
I need
you
to
know,
call
wow.
in. I need to call in when the medium's on and see if she can sense my spirit.
Can you tell me if something is attached to me?
She probably would be helpful. So yeah, that same ghost hunt though, that was the Houghton Mansion, and that was the one. What was I saying?
You were saying the time that we were in the basement and we thought it was the stupid, like a stupid
Oh,
voice
the
box, and
Phasma
then
box.
you were like,
Yeah, and
what's
it-
Patty's name?
Yeah.
And it just clear as day what Mulaney.
Yeah, what's Patty's? So they were like, ask it questions, and we're like, this is so stupid, it's so fake. And I'm like, what's Patty's last name? And it's like, my lady, like so fast. And then Patty's like, okay, I'm done.
And with that,
Because
I would have left.
And they wouldn't have been able to answer it that fast. They would have to, because this is how I think. They would have to look it up. They'd have to know, like they had no idea what Rob was going to ask that question. So they would have to leaf through their papers and see what my last name was and then say it. But it was immediate and crystal clear. And
It
a
barely
little
came out of my
angry.
mouth before it was
he
like
sounded
Mulaney.
a little mad. So I was just, that's why I was like,
I
Ghost
feel
doesn't like me.
I feel like the male spirits always sound mad.
I do too.
I feel like the female spirits they sound like they're either far away or they're docile, and the kid ones are usually like creepy because they're giggling a lot.
They're
They're
very
very
giggly
giggly.
and like to run around and
You hear stuff like that when you're.
I'm not, that did not sound like a kid laughing.
But like these machines that are like making these sounds and whatnot, like is it almost kind of like a echo or something like
So
that?
that box, though, the Phasma box is one of those things that you have to buy a special computer to play it because it only plays on like 3 devices that exist.
Yeah.
So I had to buy a special computer, but we connected it to my DJ speakers one night. But what the box does is it inhales all the radio frequencies around you and it spits out and all you hear is what's behind the radio frequency.
Oh,
So you hear a lot of like, and then you'll hear like, sometimes you'll hear like, and you'll hear like things come out of it. You'll hear like words, and like sometimes you'll ask questions. And like we used it at the salon, and I asked. At the time, I was like, "What's Wandy's boyfriend's name?" And it was like Tim, and that's who she was dating at the time. Like it spit it out. It also called Wandy the B word.
Oh.
So clearly, the ghost
There you
knew
go.
her.
so
But so yeah, we've had some crazy shenanigans happen on these ghost hunting trips, and we
Yeah.
usually go into it laughing, and then 5 minutes later we're crapping our pants.
No. We usually go into it laughing, and 5 minutes later, you're crapping your pants. You get so scared so fast. And I think it is because you're sensitive to that kind of stuff.
I think
and
you
don't
get
wanna
scared
be.
too, girl.
No, I was in a dark room by myself. We couldn't get you to go in the
You were
basement
not
again.
You were not in the basement by yourself. You were
No,
like
I was in
12
the
feet
12
away.
No, I was not 12 feet away. I love how you exaggerate.
I could have thrown my pinky at you and hit you.
I couldn't see anything.
Well, that's because you're going blind in your
And you
old
had
age.
people surrounding you, and you're like, oh my God,
I'm
the front of me
scared.
is so cold, and the back of me is so hot. What does that mean? Oh my God, I can't believe.
I think I was pregnant.
You're always not.
I know the gay dads immediately like surrounded me. My own husband was like, whatever.
They didn't know you as well as they do now. Now they're not gonna.
now they just
Jump
push
to
you
your
out in front.
defense.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I know them. I knew them then too.
I know, but
Tomorrow they're coming though. So we're going to go live on Facebook like a bunch of times tomorrow.
I know. Oh my God, is it the end?
Yeah, the show is coming to an end. Our theme song's playing now.
Oh,
So
a beautiful theme song that I
without
wrote.
a doo-doo, buy tickets to Pride on moneytoosoon.com. They are really, really low. Just buy them so I can stop promoting it. Thank you, Dan, for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Yeah, a fun little tidbit. Sam is one of the people that was part of the writing of the theme song.
Ooh.
And thank you to my co-host every Friday night, Miss Patricia Hurley-Mullaney.
Oh,
And
you're so welcome.
thank you to everyone out there for listening to our show. And we will see you guys all next
you.
Friday at 8 p.m. Bye.
Bye.